This video is for you if you are caught in a loop of not knowing how to comfort yourself, give yourself relief, find peace in life. And especially if you have just let go of a substance or an action that was detrimental to your peace, even though it gave you the illusion of happiness, like alcohol or marijuana or maybe hard drugs or boys. And so I'm going to give you 3 modalities that I use to find peace on a daily basis. I believe that even if you have a big goal and a big dream for your future, like I do, you can't get there on the stress of it all. You can't get there on this hustle mentality. And listen, I love a hustle. I love a good hustle, trust and believe. But I know that it has to come from a place and a foundation of peace, of joy, of love, of connection. And when you start it, you know, the hustle path from stress, and that's your foundation, it doesn't ever get any easier, if that makes sense. So modality number 1 is going to be the hour of power. I learned this from Tony Robbins many years ago, and I put my own little twists on it, right? Just like any modality that you hear from anyone, you're going to put your own little twist on it. But the idea is that you get out in nature. I happen to be blessed to live in nature, okay, in the sticks, if you will. And so it's not hard for me to be around big trees. I miss the huge trees of the Pacific Northwest, but you know, we have little Midwest trees here and they're fine. When I'm around nature, I feel so much more connected to my inner being. When I can, I take my shoes off and I walk barefoot in the grass. When I can, I put my hands against a big tree trunk and I sort of, I don't know what you want to call it, pray for the tree to give me some of its energy. I know that there's prana, chi, they call it, that comes from the ground, that comes from plants, that comes from the air, that comes from the sun. And when you are having time for yourself every single day, I do it every single day, every single morning, and I take a full hour. I set an alarm. I don't look at my phone, but I have my phone so that the alarm is set. I have it on silent so nothing can disturb me. My family knows where I'm at. If there's an emergency, they can literally drive to my road and be like, yo, that hasn't happened in as many years, but the idea is that you're taking time to experience nature. It is harder in the winter when it's bitter cold. It's harder in the rain. Sometimes I gotta be honest, I don't go out. But the more it becomes part of who you are, you take this time for yourself. You can make it a half an hour. I think he calls it 30 minutes to thrive. Then there's, if you only have 15 minutes, you know, depending on how busy your life is. I've chosen to make my life not that busy. But you can do 15 minutes to fulfillment, he calls it. And the idea is that you also have different like mantras that you can incorporate into it, to where I have kind of gotten to this point through using a brain training device called Neuro-Optimal, to where I don't need as many mantras. I don't need as much time like going over like grateful lists of things that I'm grateful for, things like that. Even though, oh my gosh, talking about things that you're grateful for will change your life, period, point blank. That brings you to peace because you start realizing that you're almost like grateful for everything, if that makes sense. So the point is if you find yourself, like especially at first, getting out there and feeling like, wow, your mind is really taking over and you're like ruminating on, you know, some negative things in your life or whatever, and you're finding a hard time pulling out of that, you can just go straight to gratitude. Oh, I'm thankful for that tree. I'm thankful for that bird. I'm thankful for the unknown because I trust in it. But if not, you can bring mantras in, which of course takes some preparation, but I mean, you could probably even just Google what are positive mantras for, you know, women or for business people or whoever you are. And then when you say those things, I like to memorize stuff. I have a pretty good memory though, so I mean, whatever, but I like to memorize like 10, and then I count them out on my fingers, and it helps me, my mind, get used to remembering positive things, just like gratitude. And so when I take that time for myself to be in nature, I just feel like so amazing. And every morning, because I do mine in the morning, every morning that I feel frustrated about having to go do it, I'm on the road 1 minute, 30 seconds, and I breathe that air in, and I'm like, oh, fuck, thank God I did this. So happy I did this. You hear what I'm saying? And so that's number one. It's called the hour of power. It's taking 1 hour for yourself. I am hyperactive. I need to move. I am neurodivergent. I need to get going. And so for me, it's outside. It's moving around. It probably doesn't hurt my physical body to be walking that much either. So that's a good thing too. But it's getting the movement. It's being in nature. It's being, it's not listening to a podcast. It's just literally listening to nothing, okay? The second modality is, I'm calling it allowing time in your day to not think about your problems, or really just to not think at all. Now, you might say, oh, well, I could watch TV, I could binge watch for hours and I'm not thinking about my life. Yeah, but you're very being directed by something other than your mind. I get that, but you're not allowing like the magic of the universe to inspire you. One thing that I think that a lot of us don't remember often enough is that our inspirations in life, our good ideas, if you will, they don't come from thinking. They come from what I call the field, the unknown, God. They come from being connected to that infinite source within you. They come from that place where you close your eyes and you picture the inside of your body and you let life breathe you. Sure, you can take breaths, but if you don't hold back, your body breathes you. And if you can get even quieter and you can go in and you can try to find your heart, you can feel that it's beating. I dare you to make it beat. You can't. Because your body is being breathed. Your life is being given to you because you are part of this infinite whatever it is, okay? I'm not even getting religious. I'm not getting anti-religious. I'm just saying when you spend, it's like proven, when you spend time not thinking, listening to music, not Taylor Swift. Oh, I love her so much though. But not music with words that makes you think thoughts about the past and the future. That's just, you know, that's why they say classical music. It's just music. When you listen to white noise, when you listen to birds, when you listen to the sound of your breath, that's where the inspiration comes from. That's where peace comes from. That's where connection comes from. That's where presence comes from. I'm not even talking about for a long time. Wayne Dyer, one of my favorite authors and people of all time, who is now no longer with us, quote unquote. I still feel him intensely. He talks about getting in the gap between words, the gap between notes, the gap between events. I can barely, when I'm watching a Netflix show and it stops the show because it's over and then it's queuing up the next show and it's like 15 seconds until the next show starts, I'm like, start immediately. I can't wait 15 seconds. Those 15 seconds are the gap of just maybe saying like, the universe has my back. Or maybe saying, everything's working out for me. Third modality, quick. It's called increasing your energy. There has been such a mind-boggling, what do you call it, like epiphany that I've had over this past year about understanding energy. Do you know that there's a thing called pranic healing? That's literally where people can take energy from, not from themselves, from the earth, from this infinite field. They take energy, they direct it towards a human, and then that human is healed, period. Like, Google it. It's not like frou-frou. It's like a literal thing. It can heal things crazily. And so what I've started to learn is that if you are just chilling, you know, your life goal is to just be able to nap all day. I remember that was mine when I was like 21. I was like, man, if I could just, if I was a millionaire, man, and I got to do whatever I want, I would just take a nap 4 times a day and then eat really good food. That was all I wanted to do. And this is me with ADHD. So I was caught up in some pendulums, if you will. But the idea is, and I'll make a video on this too, is that you were given so much energy. Like I said, the sun, the earth, the air, water gives you so much energy. And so if you feel like you don't have energy, and the idea of just living another 10 years brings you stress, it's not that you need more energy. It's that your energy is being given away, whether it be to pendulums, to thought forms, to crappy food, to your mind. That is not yourself. You are not your mind. That is what the call is to. It is to look into how to gain your own energy back. And the way to get it back is to keep it and not give it away. I'm not even talking about energy vampires. That's a whole other thing. You know when I had the most energy? It was when I was with an energy vampire, because I had to get it and just immediately it got sucked out of me. Those are my 3 things. The hour of power, getting into nature. 2 is allowing time for yourself not to think throughout the day. And 3 is increasing your energy or not giving it all away. Put in the comments. Comment, let me know, are there other ways that you find peace in your life? That you find that sense of like relief and comfort in your life that aren't substances? I would love to put more of those arrows in my quiver.